I have been reading a book on the story of Cleopatra, and I have to say that this is really stirring some things up in me. Now, I've never read any books on Cleopatra before, but I think because I am reimagining and rethinking leadership, particularly leadership for women and feminine leadership. This book came at the perfect time. A friend of mine actually loaned me the book, which I got to get it back to her. But she said that she wanted to books about powerful women. And as you know, I did a two-part video last week about what makes a powerful woman. And Cleopatra is interesting because she wasn't just a queen, she was a ruler. She was very much a strategist. She was brilliant, she was smart, a scholar. She was a seductress, but not in a way that society would have us look at women, in a way that truly embodied her wildness so deeply, in a way that made her presence alone itself her power. Now, she reminds me a lot of women like Marilyn Monroe and Eartha Kitt, Josephine Baker, right? These women are beautiful, but not all beautiful women know how to truly embody and carry that beauty in a powerful way, where it's not just using the external, right? But it's about understanding that there is so much more to them within. These are women who did not apologize for their allure, for their intelligence, or the way that they made people feel just by entering a room. These were women that were not going to go into a masculine energy in a space with men. You would never find that. They weren't provocative just for show. They were intoxicating because they were grounded in their bodies and in their brilliance and who they truly were. And there's something powerful and ancient about that. That's the feminine. It's this softness that's not to be um, misidentified as a weakness. It's not performative, but it is truly this embodied presence. I'm diving deeper into this as I, really think about feminine leadership and women in leadership. Um, but I think for many of us, we have been taught or either directly or indirectly, like through experience, right? We've been taught to dim our light, uh, to hide parts of ourselves, right? Sometimes it isn't what's said to us, but what's been done to us. So for me, that experience comes from the adoration that I received as a child. It became something else in the hands of someone who misused that attention. And what should have been innocent and affirming turned into something invasive, right? That experience alone shaped me from a child. I learned not to be seen, not to be heard. I internalized this belief that visibility was unsafe. I did not want to walk into a room and have people look at me. So I would dress a certain way so that I can't be seen. I wouldn't speak up and use my voice. I felt I needed to protect myself. I had to shrink and never draw attention to me. And I sat in a room with women, all of them around my age, in our 50s and our 60s. We have lived lives. We have stories to tell. We've got so much wisdom, and yet we're still holding ourselves back. We're still afraid to speak up. Our throat chakras are blocked. Our heart chakra, the light is dim. Our sacral chakra, it feels dormant. And so we don't share with the world. We're afraid. I told someone the other day that I feel like my life has been like toiling soil in a garden. This rich soil, planting these seeds, growing these flowers and a few trees. And as things start to sprout, and I think, oh, we're going to have something here, they wither away, they die, they get choked up by weeds. I go back at it, go back at it. And I become exhausted. My hands are dirty. I'm exhausted. And many of us feel this way. But I want to tell you something. I truly believe more than ever at this particular time, these are the voices that are needed. You've heard me talk about this wild woman leadership archetype. And really at the core of this is about our, our natural instinct about who we are. We deserve and have as much right to all of the desires of our hearts as anyone else, and to show up in spaces as leaders. This is whether you're in a career, or you have your own business, or in your community, or in your home. And I do believe that leadership is going to look different in the years to come, because it has to. We can no longer be guided and use these blueprints of a system that is falling apart. And so I want us to think about that, right? I want us to reimagine that. And I truly believe that it is going to come from the feminine. It is going to come from the wound of the feminine. I believe most women will be leading the charge. I do believe that. But I don't think it's going to be all women. But I think that women are feeling something collectively. We have this collective understanding that the time is now. And so it is from us that things will be birthed. And it requires us to birth those things, to nurture those things, to care for those things, to heal those things. Lots of healing. And so when we can find the time to come together and look, we see the wounded masculine, we see the wounded feminine, right? There's a lot of wounds, right? I just shared with you some of the wounds that I have. We must get to the point of healing those things, because as much as we believe that those are individual to ourselves, they permeate out into the ethers in our home and in our workplaces and in our churches and all over. They don't stay just with us. They become a part of everything that we see happening. So as we look at the world around us and we say, oh my gosh, things are falling apart, we are all falling apart. Understand that. And so if we can come back to ourselves and understand that our experiences that we've had, those things are the things that we need to heal. And as we heal them, we're going to be healing our communities, and we're going to be healing society, and we're going to be healing this country and the world. And this is why embodied presence in the feminine is so important. So I want to invite you all to be a part of this journey with me, a part of these conversations as we navigate this space at this particular time towards that future that we all want. See you next time.